If you are anything like me, I'm sure you too would have imagined how rich you would have been today if you had bought Bitcoin or Ethereum cryptos in its early days. Well, it's futile to reminisce about the past, but even today, several crypto projects are being introduced, which may very well become the next Bitcoin or Ethereum in the future. And if you want to buy any promising cryptocurrency, the earliest that you can buy it is at the initial coin offering or the ICO. Welcome to Crypto Skills, the channel that makes all the complicated crypto topics easy to understand. In this video, we will check out, in simple terms, what an initial coin offering is and how it works. Keep in mind though that the video shouldn't be considered financial advice. You should always do your own research in your investment decisions. Let's get to it then. An initial coin offering simply involves raising funds by issuing cryptocurrencies to the people. If that sounds similar to the companies raising funds in an initial public offering, you're on the right track. Just like how a company raises funds for its business from the public through an IPO, an ICO is used to get funding for the development of a Web3-based project. ICOs, however, are quite different from IPOs. In an IPO, you get shares, which represent a stake in the ownership of the company. Cryptocurrencies issued in ICO, however, do not represent ownership. Instead, they may have some utility in the project that the company is building. A well-known example of an initial coin offering is when Ethereum raised funds through an ICO in 2014, when it was still under development, by issuing Ether coins. Once Ethereum was fully developed and launched, these Ether coins could then be used on the Ethereum platform for paying gas fees and for the governance of the project. The main advantage of ICOs is that they remove intermediaries from the capital raising process. Unlike the IPOs, where there are several bankers involved that help companies raise money from the investors, in an ICO, the crypto project and the investors are directly connected. Over time, there are two broad types of ICOs that have come into play. First, private ICO. In private initial coin offerings, only a limited number of investors can participate in the fundraising process. The objective of the project is to raise capital from only accredited investors, which includes financial institutions and high net worth individuals. Retail investors like you and me cannot participate in such ICOs. Second, public ICO. This type of ICO is more relevant for people like us. It is in the form of crowdfunding that targets the general public. In a public ICO, almost anyone can become an investor. So, how does the ICO work exactly? Well, for the initial coin offering, the very first requirement is the coin or the token. If the crypto project has its own blockchain, its crypto is called coin. But these days, several developers deploy their projects on the blockchain platforms like Ethereum so that they don't need to build a blockchain from scratch and can focus on developing what's really important for their projects. The crypto issued by such projects, which does not have their own blockchain, is called token. Ethereum allows creating tokens on its platform using the ERC20 token standard. After creating a coin or a token, in an ICO, the promoters of the project ask for the funds, either in fiat currency, that is normal US dollars, euros, Indian rupees, or in other cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum, in exchange of the coin or token. The price and supply of the tokens issued under ICO can either be fixed or dynamic. In the case of dynamic pricing, the number of tokens issued will be fixed, and the amount of funding received will decide the price of the token. That is, if the project shows potential and many investors are convinced, the demand for the tokens will be more, which will increase their price. Conversely, in the case of dynamic supply, the price of the token is fixed and the amount of funding received will decide the number of tokens issued. So again, if the project is promising, the demand for the tokens will be more, and so will the numbers of tokens that are issued. From the investor's point of view, the benefit of investing in an ICO is to get the tokens of the project when they are inexpensive. Since the ICO is done at a very early stage, the early investors have the possibility of making massive gains if the project is successful and the price of its token skyrockets. Imagine investing in Ether coins at the time of its ICO. But wait, before you get carried away and invest in the first ICO you find, let's understand the risks. ICOs, unlike IPOs, are completely unregulated in most countries around the world. There are no specific laws in place that govern the issue of crypto through an ICO. Some countries, however, have restricted ICOs and other countries have disallowed ICOs. For example, the governments of China and South Korea prohibit ICOs. Many European countries, as well as the United States and Canada, are working on the development of specific regulations to govern the conduct of ICOs. And most countries, like India, do not have any specific regulations. At the same time, there are published guidelines governing ICOs in several countries, including Australia, New Zealand, Hong Kong, and the United Arab Emirates. In countries where the ICOs are unregulated, it gives flexibility to the issuer to structure the ICO as they like. But on the other hand, it also poses a risk to the investors. In fact, numerous ICOs have turned out to be fraudulent or have performed extremely poorly. And if you think you can trust celebrity-endorsed ICOs, you're just plain wrong. Boxing superstar Floyd Mayweather Jr. and music mogul DJ Khaled once promoted Centra Tech, an ICO that raised $30 million at the end of 2017. Centra Tech was ultimately declared to be a scam in court, resulting in the two celebrities settling charges with the U.S. regulators, plus 3 Centra Tech founders pleading guilty to ICO fraud. So, should you or shouldn't you invest in an ICO? Well, usually ICO is issued at the early stage of the project when it has not proved its value. And cryptocurrency investing is inherently risky. So the combination of both, investing in early-stage cryptocurrency projects, is usually not a good idea for beginners. If you have been investing in cryptocurrencies for a while now, you could consider investing in an ICO. Even then, it is crucial to exercise a high degree of caution and diligence when researching and investing in ICOs. To do that, make sure you understand the white paper released by the promoters. The promoters of the project use the white paper to explain important information related to the ICO and the project, like what the project is about, how much money it needs, how much tokens the founders will keep with themselves, and so on. Also, check the background of the promoters, whether they have previous experience in the Web3 space, whether they raised funds through ICOs before, and so on. If it seems that the project doesn't involve anyone with relevant, easily verified experience, that's a red flag. Keep track of the chatter about the ICO in the crypto community on Twitter, Reddit, Discord, or any social media. But be attentive to hype around the ICO on social media, as that itself is a major indication for caution. Lastly, but importantly, review the ICO's legal terms and conditions. Because traditional regulators generally do not oversee this space, an investor is responsible for ensuring that an ICO is legitimate. You need to get as much information as you can and try to get a sense of whether the risk of investing in an ICO fits your risk profile. And only if you are entirely convinced should you invest in the ICO. What do you think? Is investing in ICOs good or bad? I would love to know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed watching this video, please hit the like button to show appreciation for our efforts and consider subscribing so you don't miss our next bite-sized explainer video on crypto. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.